everyone, welcome to this week's Halton Hills housing update. So these updates just seem to be getting worse and worse every week in terms of inventory. So looking at the numbers, in Georgetown last week we had 12 sales, and I think we've had like 10, 11 or 12 sales like every week for the last like 3 months. So our sales are staying consistent, which is something that is different from the last time that we were at really high inventory levels, but this is starting to get a little crazy. In Georgetown, we had 25 new listings. That is a boatload of new listings for the end of June. The inventory is climbing rapidly in Georgetown, and we all know that when the Georgetown inventory is high, it negatively impacts all of the markets. So for the inventory to be coming on at this pace still in June is really interesting. The silver lining is that we are still seeing sales, like the buyers haven't completely died off. I mean, this is just a lot for this time of year. So looking at Acton had 5 sales, which is a good number there, and 4 new listings. Glen Williams had 1 sale and no new listings. Limehouse had no sales and 1 new listing. And the rural market had 2 sales and 5 new listings. So inventory climbing there as well. One thing to note, like we had 35 new listings in all of Halton Hills last week, and 21 of them were over $1 million. So the over $1 million price point is getting insanely saturated. We have so much stuff available over $1 million and quite a bit over 1.5, and that stuff just is not transacting at a rapid rate. So our lower price points still see movement. Even the lower pockets, like under 1.3, are still seeing okay movement, but there's just a lot coming on in that higher price point. When we look at our properties that like terminated, changed their pricing, relisted, all of that stuff, we had 15 properties that terminated and relisted their homes. Of those 15, 12 of them came back on the market at a reduced price, and 3 of them exited the market. So this is a lower week in terms of properties actually exiting the market, but I think as the summer hits, we're gonna start to see that like exit the market, don't relist the same week at this lower price sort of thing. I think we're gonna see those numbers start to climb like we did last October. So now we're gonna talk about active inventory, which is actually the real story. I started these updates in January of 2020, so I have been doing them for 4.5 years. In that time, the highest we ever got in terms of inventory was 230 units, and that was just last October. And I mean, that was a horrific time for Halton Hills real estate. So this week we are officially breaking records. We are at 232 active listings in all of Halton Hills. That is the highest I've seen in the 4.5 years of doing this. And it doesn't appear to be slowing down. So last October, I was like, how high is this gonna go? I really thought we were gonna hit 250. I am curious to see if this starts to like hard stop because we're hitting the summer, or if this number is gonna continue to rise. But we officially have our highest week ever for my market updates. Not that I'm celebrating that, it's horrible. Looking at our market, so Georgetown this week is up significantly from 127 to 137 active listings. The most I've seen in Georgetown is 140, so we are not far off of that. But within Georgetown, when we look at our price points, it's definitely weighted towards our higher price points. So under 800,000 is down this week from 11 to 9 active listings. There is not a lot of stuff available under 800,000. We actually could do with seeing some Stuart McLarens and some of those condo townhouses right now, because there's not a lot available for those like opening price point buyers. 800 to $1 million has skyrocketed this week. We've gone from 24 to 31 active listings. That is one of the highest numbers I've ever seen in that pocket. It is the pocket that is moving still, it seems, but 31 active listings means buyers have options in that price point, which is not always common, which means that you are going to be negotiating your price downward, like almost guaranteed. Buyers have options, and that's just what happens when it is a buyer's market. They can just go to another house and get a better deal, and this is how our prices start to really go downward. Now looking at 1 to 1.5 million, we are up from 50 to 56 active listings in that price point. There is so much available between 1 and 1.5 million. Like, Do you want a detached house in Georgetown South? Take your pick of dozens of options. There are so many houses available right now. And I mean, they're still moving. Actually, a couple of them, like the last few weeks, have got over asking. So it's really odd. You just need to be, I guess, pricing your properties well for the market, and it could generate multiple offers, but I mean 56, and that is extremely high. So the other price point now is 1.5 million plus. They're actually down from 42 to 41 active listings. That's still extremely high though. Like, there are not 40 plus buyers with budgets over 1.5 million in Georgetown. Like, we just don't have people that are willing to spend that kind of money, especially on the subdivision houses. We're seeing a lot of houses come up, especially in Georgetown South, in this pocket of, like, it's just, no one is spending that kind of money on subdivision houses right now. So certainly a struggle for that upper price point, and we are gonna for sure start to see those prices come down because there's just way too much stuff available right now. In Acton this week, we're down slightly, but still insanely high, from 37 to 36 active listings. Glen Williams is down slightly to 7 active listings from 8. Limehouse remained the same at 5, and the rural market's up slightly from 46 to 47. So overall, really not a great story for sellers. This is the kind of market we were in last October, and literally by the end of November, it was like this mass exodus off the market. And that actually helped the sellers that had to stay on, because the inventory levels dropped so significantly over the course of like 6 to 8 weeks. Like, it was dramatic because people were like, I am not getting a great price, I'm coming off the market. So I am really curious if that's what's going to happen through the summer, and if we actually go into September kind of where we were in like February and March of this year, where our inventory was kind of lagging and we were seeing properties sell really fast again in multiple offers. But right now, that is certainly not the case, and I suspect we're going to start to see a lot of the price points kind of dropping their price to go into the next price bracket. It's just inevitable. Like, some of these price drops have been hundreds of thousands of dollars, but I really think we are going to be seeing our average price dip through the summer, just with these inventory levels, unless we see them come down. That's definitely going to happen. So I'll be back next Tuesday with what happened in June. I hope you all have a wonderful Canada Day, and I will be back next week. Have a great week, everyone.